let's get to some nerdy news.
Yes, a bit of a
Um,
quieter week.
yeah, I don't know if you saw any of these, and as much as I do not expect Craven to be good, some of the posters I've seen have actually been pretty visually interesting.
Let's have a
There's been
quick.
some that are like kind of like bright colours behind him, like making scratch marks and stuff.
Oh yeah, I see. I
Like
mean,
there's just that it's just more visually interesting than basically any superhero film has been with its posters since Multiverse of Madness.
some of the the multicolored one looks cool.
Yeah,
Some of them though are very basic,
yeah, but
big
like
heads.
there is definitely a little bit more effort going into this than previous Sony films,
Yeah,
and that makes me think they are actually trying a little bit more. And then when you put that in with a director going, "Please don't judge us based on the other films this studio's released,"
I mean,
at least he like that's a ball. Like I know it sounds crazy, but that's actually a kind of ballsy thing to say.
it
I
is.
don't think it's going to be good. I think I'm going
But
to be
if
pissed off.
here's the thing, if he's like, don't judge us on these other ones, and then we go and it's exactly what we expected, it's gonna be like, bro, like you've done the thing where you think you're better than these other directors, but you've still made the same rubbish.
The same bullshit, yeah.
Yeah,
No, you're completely right. You are completely right.
I mean,
Um,
we'll wait and see.
yeah.
It's one of them.
So Marvel Rivals comes out today as you're listening to this. No, yesterday as you're listening to this. We upload on
Yes,
Saturdays, Connor.
we
Dipshit.
do.
Um,
So aggressive to yourself.
and the big bit of news that got a lot of nerds excited was Squirrel Girl has been confirmed to be on the
I
starting
saw this and I was
33
like,
player
oh, Connor's
roster.
going to be hyped about this.
The reason that this actually gets people quite exciting is because she sits on this weird bubble where she is. People in the mainstream who don't read any comics are aware of her.
Hmm.
And then obviously comic fans are like diehard, like Squirrel Girl's fucking awesome. What a weird, fucking goofy, fun character. The fact that she has found a way into a starting 33 player roster when they have access to all Marvel characters shows that Marvel Rivals believe in their source. They are
That
willing to
and
adapt anyone.
here's the thing. I think Squirrel Girl to me makes sense because it's like you say, it's a really weird hero character where like a lot of people know about her because it's like Squirrel Girl. It's like a wacky character that is like, fuck yeah, we put it in and everyone will be like, wait, Squirrel Girl's that weird what like damn, they've put that in. Let's have a look. I think haven't we done a character profile on Squirrel Girl? I think we
I
have.
believe so. Shall I double check quickly? Characters, a list of
So if you don't know who
characters.
Squirrel Girl is, you
We have.
you can
It was on
go.
20. It was in episode 22.
I thought yeah. So yeah, if you don't know who Squirrel Girl is, go listen to that and you'll find out who she is.
But yeah,
I mean,
insanity. It's so cool.
there's
You know how
Wolverine
excited
also
I am
got
for this.
confirmed. There was a couple others as well with the
Yeah,
starting.
I mean, it's a 33 man roster. Off rip, all characters unlocked and free.
Hmm.
I am incredibly excited. It's also been confirmed that when Miles Morales and Spider Gwen eventually come to the game, they will not be skins for Spider Man. They will be their own characters.
Nice.
Um, Lots of skins have been leaked and teased. The game looks exciting. If when I load up on Friday morning, twitch.tv/Con Night, the game loop itself is fun, we're on to a winner. Because everything about the way they're doing this game gives me a lot of confidence. The currency that you can earn from playing,
Hmm.
1-to-1 relationship with the premium currency,
Okay.
which is good. Battle passes, if you buy them, you
Hmm.
don't have to finish them in
Yes.
that season. You can go back and which I know I've mentioned before. Halo Infinite did it, and I think it should be illegal for anyone to do it any other way now because that FOMO of like, oh, you have to finish it now. You're not allowed to play anything else is terrible for gaming.
The only exception I would argue with that is like if it's a partnered ad thing that's like a 2 week long. Like I can
Yeah,
understand them being a limited time because it's like
but they're not
that is
selling
a
a battle
paid
pass
ad.
for that.
But yeah, the battle passes should be
Yeah.
you have whatever length of time you want to finish it.
33 characters already out, with a number of characters rumoured, leaked, and a little bit in test files. Makes me confident in the other bit we're worried about them running content. And
Yep.
again, they're going to be able to run constant tie-in events with TV shows and films and this and comic book runs and one of their other games. I mean, their launch event, they're doing a launch event that coincides with Fortnite and Marvel Snap. So they're in this little world where if they're doing a big comic event, cool, we're going to throw an event in the game, like they do currently on Marvel Snap. If there's a big film coming out, we're going to throw an event in.
I think that
TV
also,
show.
from what they've said about the rarities of skins and stuff, that was something I always said, like, they could have a lot of fun with skins if they let themselves. And
Yeah.
I think they've learned from, we've said this with many free-to-play, like, free-to-play games, it's great, but if your skins are rubbish and no one actually wants to buy them, like, if you're not
You're not
putting
gonna
effort
make any
into
money.
them, you're not going to make the money. Like, people aren't, like, we're at the point now where people won't just buy skins for the sake of it. Like, it has to be cool. Like, look at how wacky COD's got. Because if they were just doing, like, variations on
Mil sim
camos and
skins,
stuff,
yeah,
yeah,
no
like,
one
people
wants it.
would be like, this is boring. So they have a seasonal tier, which obviously is going to tie into probably, like, Battle Pass specific ones, but also I think will be fun ones. And I've said to you, I'm so ready for, like, a Christmas tree Groot,
Yeah.
or a snow dog a snow shark, Jeff the Snow Shark, or whatever.
Here's the thing. I know a lot of people aren't thrilled about the base designs, but as I said to you before we started recording, the base designs are visually consistent, so they all look like they're from the same universe.
Yeah.
Then they're going to go, right, that's fine. This is what everyone gets because that's our game's style. But here is a comic accurate suit. Here's a comic accurate suit from your favorite run. Here's a film accurate suit. There is already a Spider-Man No Way Home suit in the game. There is already a Deadpool Wolverine suit in the game. And there is already a Guardians of the Galaxy 3 pack in the game. So you get skins for all of the Guardians of the Galaxy characters based on the Guardians 3 film.
Do you know what it's probably, I don't know if people would want this. They should do a Spider-Man noir skin.
They will. They absolutely will.
But no, listen to me. If you equipped it, everything turns black and white. I don't know if you can, because
I think that'd be a cool effect to have toggleable.
Yeah, true. Or you do, like, a noir map.
Yeah. But this is the beauty of it.
Yeah.
Especially because the game is, like, based in the multiverse, and this is the perfect excuse for a multiverse. You can do whatever the fuck you want. I'm very excited. I hope it's good. I want it to be good so bad.
I mean,
and if it's not good, I will be very sad.
There's a lot of fun they can have with, like, maps as well. Like, we're talking about the cards and stuff, but maps and locations, like,
so much fun.
Let's be honest. They could come up with, like, say when Daredevil comes out, the new show. Oh, here's a Hell's Kitchen map, and like there'll be Easter eggs for, like, Matt Murdock's office and stuff in different places. Like, there's so much fun they can have with, because there's so much lore there for them to play with, and they can, like you say, they can treat this as, we can do what we want. This is multiverse. Like, this is not the official universe. They can fucking slap all these different things together and just make it a fun game.
And like you say, with all, like, the tie-ins and stuff, they can. It's not like Marvel even have to worry about leaks or anything, because they announce their roadmap so far in advance that they can work around that and plan around that and not worry about leaking anything.
Yeah, people will just be making, oh, Fantastic Four comes out. What are we going to get with that?
Exactly. Like, if this game has an insane first 6 months, and then their first major event gets, I mean, obviously there's other films coming out in between, but Fantastic Four hype is going to be at all-time high. 6 months of Marvel Rivals proving it's a good game, and then you get to have the Fantastic Four come to the game and all that stuff. Mint.
I'm making a prediction of... We've obviously, before we started recording, you mentioned about that some of the Fantastic Four characters have been data mined. What if they launch before the film, but with the film's launch, they do skins that are their vintage looking suits.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is
it's endless.
Yeah, there's so much they could do with it.
It's so funny because actually, a lot of the time with free-to-play games now, a lot of free-to-play games are actually very solid games. I mean, look at X-Fight. The actual gameplay loop is fucking solid.
Yeah.
But they didn't have enough content, enough good skins to get people
The
to spend
skins
money.
were lackluster.
Marvel have the opposite problem.
Yeah.
They have unlimited options over skins and tie-ins and events and this, that, and the other. It's never ending. They have just got to actually really, really focus on making sure the gameplay loop is fun. Gameplay loop is fun. There is always going to be more skins. And when they've made such an effort of going, you can buy a battle pass and come back to it later, they are not worried about concurrent players always being stupid high. They're looking for them big bumps around events. They want me to play this game now, and then when Captain America's coming out in March, go, oh, I wonder what Captain America event they're doing, and log back in and lose my life to it for 3-4 days again.
Yep.
And I know that's why I think this game will be a success. Don't get me wrong. It might go wrong. The gameplay loop might be dog shit. I don't think it will be, though. It looks very polished.
Yeah, I mean, I think this will, and I've said it always, but this game will live and die on its balancing because of the type of game it is. And I mean, that's just we have to wait and see.
Everyone looks OP, which means no one's OP.
But like, it's going to have the people need to be prepared. It's a hero-based game. Whenever a new hero gets added in games like this, they're always strong, then they get balanced in properly. That is just kind of the go-to now. And people need to be prepared for that.
I think it's crazy ballsy to launch with 33 characters. They've got to have a bit of faith in their balancing off rip here.
Yes, but I also think that's good.
Do you think it makes it harder to find the one OP character?
No, I think having 33 characters and they've had to spend the time balancing 33 makes it easier to add in more because you've already got such a range that you've had to learn to balance across. Say if you started with 12, like a year in, you've probably doubled that, and there's such a small these characters can be so different. There's no like overlap with these 12 characters. You get like a very rigid balance,
set role,
and then suddenly you start adding in characters that maybe blend between, and it gets messy with balancing. Whereas with 33, like they've already had to figure that out, if that makes sense.
No, I do get what you're saying.
So it might benefit them.
If the balancing seems okay-ish off rip, maybe we can have a bit more confidence that long term they'll be able to maintain that. Maybe you're not right. But games like this are always going to have ebbs and flows with balancing.
Oh yeah, I mean,
if you play any kind of hero game, there's balancing constantly.
Most popular game in the world. Went into chapter 2, took a bit of a dive because people weren't feeling it, and then this last week it just had the highest ever.
Fucking insane, by the way, that it's still breaking player records.
And like that was because there was an event and stuff on, but like it broke player record after this game probably 3 years ago was called Dead. But no, it's still here. They know what they're doing. Yeah. So, just have to wait and see.
Fantastic Four has finished filming.
Now, do we think 6 months is long enough for the visual effects?
So, I'm going to say something here. When it comes to summer 2025 film catalogue, I am huffing copium that is going to be the greatest summer ever on record. So yes, 6 months will be enough time. Superman, Fantastic Four, any other film that's coming. I don't even know what else is coming out that summer. I've decided every film that has a major theatrical release in summer 2025 is going to be one of the greatest films of all time. That is my copium, and no one will convince me otherwise. I want to spend my entire summer in a boiling hot cinema watching the greatest films the world's ever seen. That's all I want.
It's just like, obviously, James Gunn finished like
months ago,
6 months ago, nearly.
Yeah,
and he was like, "I want them to have like a year to do VFX," whereas Marvel's doing it in 6 months. We know what Marvel's work ethic is like. I will say this: I hope the artists get paid what they deserve for the amount of work that I know for a fact they're going to have to put in the next 6 months.
All I will say is this film has rumoredly used a lot more practical stuff than we've seen maybe in the last couple of years, which should,
Help.
again,
But
should ease a little bit. It doesn't
should.
mean it will.
But yeah,
There is also an entire character made of rocks, which is not easy to work around.
but we know there's been a lot of practical suit for that. So
Exactly.
I'm confident because it's Marvel. Like, at the end of the day, I think they get the VFX good. Like, this, they're gonna make sure this is good. Like, this is Fantastic Four relaunching.
This is the first family of Marvel. They would be insane to cut it down to the wire.
I think Superman looks more polished though.
Yes, it will.
Just because it's
there is kind of, based on what we know, there is less to worry about. A big man made out of rocks is always going to be more difficult to make look polished than just normal dudes. But yeah, the extra time is going to make it look more polished. And also, if you look at the Guardians of the Galaxy films compared to other Marvel films, they always look incredibly polished as well. And that's because the Guardians of the Galaxy films are run by James Gunn. But all we can do is hope. I'm very excited.
Yeah.
Big day during the
DC.
week. DC shows are officially finished on CW, as the last CW DC show, Superman and Lois, had its finale.
End of an era.
That is absolutely an end of an era, which is craziness.
CW DC was maybe not the best DC content ever, but it was
some really good memories in there though.
Yeah, there was some, like, for a period of time when we really had not the many DC projects, that they were giving us DC stuff, and that was
I mean, having Bat Arrow, because he wasn't Green Arrow. The Flash was obviously had its ebbs and flows, but a lot of the time was really good. What I will say, I don't know, obviously, minor spoiler warning, I haven't actually seen it, so I don't know how much is a spoiler. So this is the finale of Superman and Lois. Over the course of this series, Clark has died.
Right.
And had like a heart transplant.
Oh.
Which meant his powers were kind of there, but they were fading. And they were like, this heart will not last forever.
Mm-hmm.
And you are going to lose your powers either quickly or slowly, we don't know. So the finale is clearly after like 20 years later.
Oh, okay.
Lois has already died from breast cancer or something, I think.
Oh.
She had been ill in the show before. I think it like came back. And he's like, and I didn't know what to do. I couldn't be Superman anymore. I didn't have Lois. So he finally gets a dog and he calls it Crypto. And I've seen the montage of him like walking the dog and watching sunsets with the dog. I'm like, Superman should always have Crypto.
Man always needs his best friend.
Exactly. But yeah, so it's something that I watched like the first half of the first season on BBC iPlayer a few months ago. But as I always do when I don't have to watch something for the podcast, I get distracted by other stuff and it goes by the wayside. But I have heard, despite being one of the CWDC shows, which has a bit of a stigma, that Superman and Lois is genuinely very, very good. So I might have to go back and give that a watch.
I've heard good things. It kind of, to me, has always sat in that realm of like Smallville.
Yeah.
You get like a different perspective on Superman.
Yeah, absolutely. So. Really, really fun. So yeah, end of an era for sure. Just literally like 3 days before we launch into a new era of DC with the DC Human Creature Commandos. Some really sad / disturbing news here. So the actor who played Kid Loki in Loki the TV show season 1, Jack Veal, who is 17 years old, has gone viral on TikTok after revealing he's currently homeless after escaping an abusive home environment. That went incredibly viral on TikTok. A lot of people worried about him, rightfully so. He's a 17-year-old kid who's had to escape a dangerous home environment. That's horrific. And he was kind of begging for help, which is even more heartbreaking.
Yeah.
On a brighter side, he's put another TikTok up today and he's confirmed that he's been reached out to by social services for a meeting in the coming days to try and secure him a foster family or accommodation for the time being. So
Wasn't he
that's good
also
news.
in like a motel or something?
Yes, he was in a hotel or something when that was happening. I don't know quite
So
what was going on there,
even
but
it's
it's
some,
good to
it's
know
at
that
least in a
wheels are
yeah.
moving. Incredibly sad that it's got to that point, but it's nice to know that when something goes wrong, the internet can get stuff done pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it kind of threw me for a loop because obviously the age he is as well. He was like 14 when he was Kid Loki, so it's been a few
Yeah.
years. He's grown up a little bit. He's looking older, but I did recognize his face. I'm like, is this actually him or is this a lookalike dude? Because unfortunately, you do get people who look like celebrities
Yeah, they
trying to
try to
pull this
claim
crap.
stuff, yeah.
So I did it, and it was real, and yeah, very very scary for him. And hopefully social services can help him out and get him back on the right track. And incredibly brave of him to get himself out of a dangerous situation and ask for help.
Yeah. 100%.
Dave Filoni
Mm.
has confirmed that the Mandalorian and
So
Grogu
nice.
film has wrapped filming.
Mm.
Are they still going to find a way to cancel this? Star
I
Wars are
don't
very good at cancelling films and
no.
not releasing films.
The
Are they still going to find a way to cancel
the
this?
Mando has been their like main success.
The only thing
And
they've been able to consistently put out.
Grogu has made them so much money through merch that this
He
will
gets his own film.
like this will go ahead. I think my bigger worry is like we had all those theories after the last Mando. Does it answer like all the things it set up? Maybe they do by doing a bit of a time jump and we a bit like things have been figured out in the gap. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this storyline wraps up, knowing what we know from the sequels.
Yes, I do agree with that.
Though there is like a big chunk of time, but like, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the story wraps up.
Absolutely. Very curious to know.
We'll just have to wait and see.
Colman Domingo, actor, director, screen writer, and theatre performer, won numerous awards, most known for shows like Euphoria, Fear the Walking Dead, and The Colour Purple. Has revealed he's in discussions with Marvel over a role. Apparently, they said, "What are you interested by?" And he went, "What have you got?"
Oh.
So it's really nice that it feels like very talented actors. And don't get me wrong, Marvel has always had talented actors, but they weren't people who are viewed as talented actors.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're getting people who have already proven they're talented actors going, "I'll come do some work."
Yeah.
Marvel is in a really interesting spot now because there is a lot of stuff they do that I don't agree with the way they treat VFX artists and stuff like that. And I get why people are a little bit anti-Marvel, but a lot of artists are also coming out, like actors and writers coming out and going, "It's not perfect." Sebastian Stan's been a big voice of this. But they allow us to go off and also do smaller projects that we care about and make them cheaper by asking for less money.
Yes.
They'll pay us good money. We'll come in, and they are a lovely environment to work in for us as actors. We make films that people enjoy, which is also really important. And then it allows us to go off and do like Chris Evans going to do Knives Out, Robert Downey Jr. going to do Oppenheimer.
Yeah. It's Marvel's. We joke that it's just a money machine more than anything, but it's like that has its benefits.
The money machine is at least a little bit working in favor of the arts. It's not working enough in favor of the arts. I will be very fucking clear about that.
It could be split better, but
it could. But it's
We'll
nice
get
to know
there.
that it is doing some good. Now we just need to crank the lever on Bob Iger and make that money do some more good. Pull the lever, Kronk. So yeah,
Very cool.
Collider interview with Wilson Bethel, who plays Bullseye,
Yes.
confirms that Daredevil Born Again
Saw
is
this
set
as well.
5 years after the end of the Netflix shows.
I presume that's got the snap in that 5.
I would assume so, yes. Or maybe it's taking place in the middle of the snap. That'd be a bit weird. All we know is there's a big time jump. Basically, it sounds like what he said is we are continuing as if time has continued.
Yeah. It's like time has continued. We've jumped ahead so we can kind of distance ourselves from the stuff that happened in the next show and only carry on things we want to.
Exactly. And big news. Walton Goggins is on set for Fallout Season 2. A picture
Yeah.
was released of him getting his ghoul makeup put on.
Yeah, he's getting his skin put on.
Yeah, I'm so excited for Season 2, man. Season 1 was awesome. Good actors, good writing. Ella Puel has gone out and made an even bigger name for herself with stuff like Sweet Pea, which is on my to watch list and looks so good.
You know, it's
Walton Goggins has been the man for a decade, it feels like. Very excited for Season 2.
Season 2 is going to be great. And I mean, Prime's proven to us that they're pretty solid at making these shows, so
there is absolute milestones in like seasons of a show, and like when you hear it's been greenlit, you're like, yes. Then you get the first news of people on set filming stuff, and you're like, come on. Then it's like it's finished filming, and then you're like, I'm ready. And then you get the trailer, and then before you know it, it's there, and you're like, oh yeah. I really like in like the production of film and TV having them kind of check marks where you're like, okay, cool, we're here. I don't need to know the ins and outs. I don't need set photos. I don't need all that. But knowing that it's now started filming, I'm like, yeah, let's go. That's good news.
Yeah.